Welcome back. This is Chantilly's Kitchen Hop, and I'm your host, Chantilly''S. And if it's your first time with me, just so you guys know, I do gluten-free, vegan, dedicated recipes while we rock out in the kitchen weekly. And this week, I have a great dessert recipe for you guys. We're going to be doing a blueberry cobbler that's actually on the healthier side, no refined sugar, and absolutely delicious. So I'm sure you guys are going to want to learn how to make this, so make sure you stick around. And if you like what I'm doing, hit that like button and subscribe. See you in a sec, guys. Bye. Hi guys! Welcome. I hope everybody's having a great day today. And if it's your first time, welcome. This is Chantilly's Kitchen Hop, and I'm Chantilly''S. And I have a great gluten-free vegan recipe for everybody today that I think is perfect for summer because we got some fresh blueberries in it or frozen. And it's just a nice treat. I really wanted a treat this week. We're still kind of sticking on the healthy side because there's no refined sugar. And we're doing a blueberry cobbler today. And it is so delicious. So we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. So like I mentioned, the star of this one is blueberries. And we can do fresh or frozen. Either one is totally fine. And if you do frozen, don't have to thaw them or anything. You can just make the recipe exactly like we're doing with fresh. So, and I got blueberries on sale, so that's why I thought this would be perfect to do this week. So we're going to start with 4 cups of blueberries. And just go ahead and, medium-sized mixing bowl. We don't need a large one, but, it's 4 cups. So at least get a medium one. And I already forgot the other first step. So we need to preheat our oven to 350 today. So I'll go ahead and give you guys a sec to do that because I already got mine going because I am excited to have my cobbler. This is so good. It was hard when I made the one yesterday to show you guys, actually give you guys a peek at what we're doing. It was really hard not to eat it all. So I have to tell you, this is really delicious. It's great when it first comes out and you can heat it up later. So 350 for the oven. And 4 cups of blueberries, since we're going back in there, since I always seem to forget that stuff. So next, we're going to do 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, just for some little bit of sweetness, but not too much. You could add a little bit more if you guys want, but the liquid we're actually going to be leaving behind, so you don't really need too much. The sweetness is really coming from the blueberries, so this is just helping that. So we're going to do 3 tablespoons of that. And we're going to do 2 tablespoons of, I'm going to use a fresh lemon, but if you just have lemon juice in the house, but we're going to do 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Try not to get it everywhere. Lemon in the eye is never fun, so we're going to do 2 of that. Let me get my other half here because it's not a very juicy lemon, it seems like. And I had a seed get in there, so let's go ahead and pick our seed out because we don't want seeds. I thought I got all those suckers out, but I guess I didn't. So we got 2 tablespoons of that, and then we're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla. And I have the Watkins Organic. This is a really good vegan one that's doesn't have a lot of chemicals and stuff in it. It's all natural. So we're going to do a teaspoon of that. Then we're just going to give this a little stir, and then we're going to put some cornstarch or arrowroot in there to help really thicken it up. So you can actually leave that out, but I would recommend keeping it in there because otherwise it does get a lot more liquidy, so this just helps really get a good base for the blueberries when they cook down. So we're just kind of mixing that in before we put in and I'm actually going to do arrowroot. We're going to do a tablespoon, but you can do cornstarch as well. Just kind of whatever you got in the house. So we're going to do a tablespoon of that. Oops. Should probably make sure I do a full tablespoon. And then just go ahead and give this guy a little toss. So we're getting all the blueberries kind of just coated in a little bit of that starch that we put in there because that's really what, like I said, it's going to help it get a little gooier so it's not quite so liquidy. Alright, so we just got that a little toss in there. Give you guys kind of a peek. It's just blueberries with a little bit of sauce and a little bit of starch on it. And then we're going to get a 8x8 baking dish, or a little bit smaller if you have it, but I wouldn't go too much smaller. And then we don't need to line it, spray it, anything, everything's gonna just cook itself and come out nice and easy. But we do just want to spoon the blueberries in there because we actually want to leave the liquid behind. We don't want too much of that extra liquid. It's probably the hardest part so you don't make a mess and splash all over yourself. I had a blueberry escape, and of course I'm a messy cook, so I always get some on me. Then we're just going to take the blueberries and just kind of spread them even across the bottom. They should, if you're doing an 8x8, should fit just perfect. Then we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to make our cobbler topping. So let's get another medium-sized mixing bowl, and then in this we're going to do 1 cup of rolled oats. And I would recommend the rolled, but if you have the quick oats, you could definitely do those too. The texture might be just a little bit different, but either way, rolled or quick, but I prefer the rolled on this one, just so you guys know. And we're doing a cup of that, and then we're going to do a cup of almond flour, just the nice, super fine almond flour. We're going to do a cup of that, because that's just going to help with the flavor and the yummy crispiness and stuff. And then we're also going to do a whole cup of just really finely chopped pecans, or walnuts, or honestly any other nut you guys have, but I prefer pecans in mine because they just have that nice buttery flavor to me. So we're going to do a cup of those, and I actually get the whole ones a lot of times and just pop them in my food processor, and then just, you know, give it a few pats in there so that way it gets just nice and fine so we can distribute all the flavors really good. And then we're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Put that in there. And then we're just going to give this a mix before we put our liquid in there. So we want to make sure there's no kind of clumps of anything sticking together. So let's go ahead and give that a mix. Now almond flour sometimes can get just like little chunks in there, so kind of pat them down a little bit, but it's not going to affect the flavor or the texture or anything if there are little clumps. So no worries, because it's a cobbler topping. Alright, and then next we're going to do I always forget how much, 1/2 cup of maple syrup. Make sure we get all of the maple syrup, because this is where our yummy sweetness is coming from, and also our liquid that we need to make sure the cobbler gets cooked. So we got 1/4 cup of that, and then we have 1/3 cup of coconut oil, and you do want to make sure it's room temperature or melted. You want to make sure it's liquid. We don't want it solid. It definitely won't mix in there the way that you guys want or are expecting. And that was 1/3 cup of that. And then we're going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Two teaspoons of vanilla, and then I'm not going to do it in mine today because I'm just keeping it a little more simple, but you could definitely toss in some cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, just another fun flavor you could put in there to really perk it up. But like I said, I just wanted mine to actually be blueberry vanilla cobbler, so I'm not doing any cinnamon or nutmeg today, but it would be absolutely delicious if you did. So, and then we're just going to give this a nice mix up until everything's wet and incorporated. It's nice. There's not a lot of ingredients in this, not a lot of steps. The hardest thing is honestly waiting for it to bake, because it takes about 40 minutes. So your house will smell delicious, but you have to wait. So give you guys a peek at what we're looking at for the cobbler mixture. Not, you know, anything too crazy about it. It's got some nice liquid, but not too much. If you feel like you got a little bit too much, you could always just toss a couple more oats in there to help soak it up. And now we're just going to pull back over our pan with our blueberries, and then we're just going to kind of dollop this on top, and then we'll spread it around. I kind of like to start with a couple little dollops just right in the center, and then spread them out a little bit. And then, so we're trying to cover most of the blueberries. If you don't really cover them all, it's okay. Everything's going to cook down a little bit. Especially the blueberries, when I pull them out, they're going to be nice and bubbly and super hot and gooey. You can tell I'm really looking forward to eating this. So we're just kind of dolloping the topping around, trying to make sure as much of it's covered. Scrape the bowl, get the last of the goodies in there. make sure you get all of the flavor, right? Okay, got it all on there. Give you guys a peek at what I'm talking about. So, you know, just a little bit of the blueberries on the edges you can still see, but that's going to cook down. And then the cobbler topping will definitely spread out a little bit for you. So after this is actually all we're doing on this. We're going to pop it in the oven at 350 for about 40 to 50 minutes, depending on how crispy and brown you like your top. I like mine a little bit more brown, kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So I left mine in for actually 48 minutes. I feel like that was perfect for me. The blueberries got nice and gooey and cooked down just where I liked them. And I really like my topping to be nice and crispy and crumbly. So if you don't like it quite so well done, just pop it out at 40 minutes. Give it about 5-10 minutes to cool before you start eating it, because those berries are going to be super hot and they will burn your tongue. I've learned this lesson as a kid very early in life. It's no joke. So it's so delicious. I think you guys will really like this one. Give you guys kind of a peek. I mean, just look how good that is. We got really nice thick blueberry layer and then an absolutely delicious cobbler topping. And honestly, this is a more healthy cobbler because we don't have any refined sugar in it, and we're only doing coconut oil, no butter, so it is a little bit on the healthier side, and it's packed with all those good nutrients from the blueberries. So I feel like this is one you don't have to feel super guilty about, and you can kind of do this every now and then. And I honestly think this is a really fun one for a company. It's gonna shock them. You don't have to tell them it's, you know, vegan. You can even throw some vegan ice cream on top, and nobody has to know that they're having a treat like that. But I do hope you guys try this one. I hope you really, really liked it. And if you guys do, please let me know. I love my feedback from you guys. It's always fun to hear what you're doing with my recipes. And sometimes you guys even have suggestions that I haven't thought about. And also, if you guys are thinking of any recipes you'd like me to do lately, just pop me a message and we can chat, and I can definitely see if we can work that out. So I hope you guys really enjoyed today, and also got some stickers and magnets left, just a couple, they're running low, but if you guys would like some, send me a message. And also, if you're on YouTube, I do live Facebook every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so check me out on there if you want to watch me goofy and live. And if not, if you guys are watching on Facebook, make sure you check out my YouTube channel. So you guys have a great rest of your week, and I sure hope you try this one. Let me know if you do. See you next week, guys. Bye.